What's good, guys? Welcome to the channel. Mitchell FX here. Before we can get into the video, if you could hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, that would be hugely appreciated. So if you haven't guessed it already, we are here because I managed, as a beginner trader, I have only been trading for just over a year and a half now. That includes just practicing, learning, trial and error again and again and again every single day for a year and a half, just over a year and a half. And if you haven't guessed it already, I have managed to flip £100 Great British pounds into just under £10,000 in 3 days. And this video is just basically a video of just how I've managed to do it and what I've learned from this short 3 days, and just just a rundown of every single trade I did, what I've did good, what I've did bad, typical, just try to be straightforward with it so people can see what I have done. So let me pull up the phone. Right next you can see the account. So as you can see right at the top, it is a live account. Okay, it is right there, and as you can see my deposit, it does say 119 and minus 15. I don't know why, but that was £100 deposit. I think it's because it was a reset. I reset the account. I've done 3 deposits on this account of £100 each. The first 2 times, obviously, I ended up blowing it. This time, I haven't. So I think that little minus 15, and that is just when you reset the account. But I'll show you at the end that how much has actually been deposited into this account. So going here, you can obviously see just under £10,000. And it is a live account. So running over the history, let's go back. So there you can see, yeah, £100 deposit. Obviously you get like a little deposit bonus, so that was £20. So let me go to Bitcoin US dollar. Okay, so at the start of the week, this was Monday, I was doing mainly scalping, so just a quick in and out, just trying to do quick little flip and dips. And the first one was I lost £58 and 58 pence. A little bit annoying for the first one, typical. It left my zone. I entered, I think it was about here, I think it was. For some reason on here it says I didn't hit stop loss, but obviously your spreads on your broker that you use, it did hit stop loss, but on here it says it didn't. But it did. So I bought somewhere around this level. It obviously pushed out my zone, re-tapped in. I entered, literally just tapped the stop loss, and as you can see, it would have absolutely smashed the TP. I was aiming somewhere up here. Not trying to aim for the top at this point. I just wanted to get slightly just somewhere before it, to take some profits. That one obviously was a loss to start off the week. Moving on to the next one. At this point, it come all the way back down, and there was, let me draw it up actually so you can see it. So around this area, we can see that it's rejected, it pushed through, come back up, and then it consolidated in this zone, pushed up, come down. As soon as that tapped in, I'll be honest, I absolutely spammed the living daylights out of my account. I was like, you know what, no risk, no reward. It's £100 at the end of the day. We can just learn from it, start again. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna spam it out, and again aiming for the tops, straight to TP. Whoosh, happy days. So that was that one. I think I haven't drawn it. but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere, what level was it? 109,390. Yes, it was about here. So as it pulled back, oh no, it was about here, yeah. So I think I bought again here, thinking, okay, it's pulled back, it's now gonna break this top. I entered, it started to come down, and I closed that manual. I was like, no, that was very stupid of me. So I learned from that. Well, I like to think I learned from that. I was like, you know what? That's very stupid just to no man's land enter, and of course it cost. I then sold here. Again, if I was to drop it down smaller time frames, these are all scalps. We had a little bit of resistance at this level here, as you can see around there. It huge push down, so I was like, okay, beautiful, aiming for these lows here, and again these tops, and it come down absolutely beautiful. So that was again absolutely blitzed it. I'll be honest, no risk, no reward. I mean, look at all themselves. Spammed it as many times as I could. And then I think it was here. I accidentally clicked buy. Very stupid, man. I accidentally clicked buy and I literally closed them too. So luckily they came into profit, but I did accidentally close them too. As you can see, it was gold next, which was here. So I will be honest, a little bit of a, all over the shop Monday. Just doing mainly scalping, just a bit of fun really. Just a bit of fun during the Monday. And then I thought, right, let's start doing a bit of day trading. Let's just set them a little bit and let them run. So gold, I entered here, obviously came into my zone, tapped in beautifully, huge push up, and obviously I entered on the next candle, and it pushed all the way up to a little bit of drawdown, pushed all the way up to TP. So that was that one. That was a pretty big win, to be fair, 300 quid. And again, back over to the Bitcoin, I thought, you know what? Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's have a little bit more fun on Bitcoin. Let's go back to scalping. So I hit, I think it was more like here actually. I hit, or here, I think it was there. But it basically come down, pulled up, and then I kind of liked the pullback. Again, it was just lingering out in this zone, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to get a quick entry. Entered, took the profits, happy days, walk away, let's leave it at that. Now, I am annoyed at this next one, AUD, NZD, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, because I stupidly was not supposed to enter AUD New Zealand. I think it was like CAD or one of these anyway. Might have even been USD. I can't really remember that I wanted to enter. Entered it and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? Closed everything. I was like, you know what, it is what it is. Take it on the chin. Close everything and just left it there. I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna try and stress now and go back onto the right one. I was like, I'll just find something else. Back to Bitcoin again. Scalping. For some reason, I love scalping Bitcoin. Everything else I tend to do more intraday and day trading, where I'll leave the trades for a day or two. But Bitcoin, I do tend to do more scalping because it just moves up and down like crazy. You can get into a lot of trades on Bitcoin. So entries all on here. All those Bitcoins were there. So it come down, pushed up, come down, and as it pushed up, it was breaking this top here, these couple of tops here. Again, if I dropped it down to 5, I'm not gonna though, for the sake of the video. It's just dragging on too long. Broke these tops. I was like, right, I'm gonna get into quick sell breaking these double tops, quick buy, sorry, and that's the idea of a scalp, in it for a short period of time and close. However, I could have absolutely rinsed that buy, but scalping is just quick in and outs, literally a couple of minutes to 5-10 minutes maybe, holding a trade and you are out. Moving on, I sold here. So as it pushed out, I think, yes it did, it tapped into my zone there. So I was like, you know what? Let's try and get a sell for the pullback and then catch a buy. Again, scalp. Decided I didn't want to, unfortunately, pushed up. However, it did eventually come down, so back into the zone, which is what I wanted to do here. Pull back to these tops maybe into the zone. Didn't do that though, so that one obviously cost me. I then bought here. I think this one was more of a just a set and forget day trade sort of one. I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at just doing that for this one. So a little bit of a learning curve, done some loads of scalping. I thought, you know what, I'm going to set it, and I didn't have a TP if I'm honest. I just purely had a stop loss just on the off chance that it did decide to go, and it decided to go after it hit my stop loss. You tend to get this a lot in trading. You know, no stress though. It is what it is. So as you can see, there's a lot of scalps there. Entered, and it decided to do it after it hit my stop loss. It is what it is though. We're not moaning. We're not moaning. No stress. No stress. So after that, I moved to AUD CAD, and this is where I was tended to do more of my day trades again. So I moved from that one. All these were scalps. This one was going to be, I suppose you could say, a little scalp slash day trade, trying to hit those, you know, really tight stop losses to hit for the day. You know, it did do that, but unfortunately it did hit my stop loss first. So you know, the analysis was there, but just the entry and stop loss wasn't. Pretty much with all of these, to be honest. As you can see now, I've zoomed out the time frame. They was all literally heading in the right direction, but just unfortunately got wicked out every single time before heading to TP. So you know, can't really moan at that. It is what it is. So like I said, the analysis was right, just the entries and stop losses on some were not quite there. So learning from that, tried to do a day trade there. Unfortunately, just wicked it out. Super tight stop losses, if I'm honest, but that's what I wanted to maximize profits. And it just hit stop loss. So moving on to AUD CAD. This was my first day trade that I let run all day. Well, say all day, it only ran for a couple of hours before hitting my TP. So this one made £1,303.09, which was beautiful. It did pull back, I'll be honest. I very nearly entered again, but I didn't, and it would have hit TP. Came back again, and I thought, oof, you know what they always say, third time's lucky. 1, 2, 3. I was going to enter it, and I didn't do it again. I could have literally won 3 trades in a row, right? All from the same place. So roughly there, that would have hit TP on that candle here. You know, if it came in, which I wanted it to. Again, if it came in somewhere around there, so you know, all 3 literally would have hit TPs all from roughly the same area, which would have just been insane, to be honest. But you know, I didn't do it. Pretty much then I went to NZD New Zealand JPY, literally the same setup. So it broke my area, came in, as it pushed out, I hit that entry, and I was hoping it'd break this top. I closed this manually. All these are closed manually because I want to try and maximize my profits. If it, just in case it does, you know, keep going. I have a stop loss, but I don't tend to have TPs because, it's like I say, if, you know, why would I try and do like a 2 to 1, 3 to 1 if it'll just keep going and going and going and end up being like a 6 to 1, 5 to 1. So it hit my TP, which obviously I was very happy about. Again, similar situation. I nearly entered again, but I thought, you know what, let's not be stupid. Just because it happened in AUD CAD, rejected, doesn't mean it's going to happen on every single pair. Which proves my point right here. That would have lost, so I would have just won. I'd have been happy, and then boom, lost. Moving on again, from New Zealand JP1. Why? So we had a nice little win streak there. That put me on, I think it was about £5 that was, in 2 days. From £100 to £5 in 2 days. Which, obviously, you know, I'm not going to complain about. AUD CAD was my next trade. This one, semi happy and semi gutted, and I'll explain why now, obviously. So I entered, you know, tapped into my zone, entered as it, the 1 push out, 2 push out, and I think it was actually this candle I entered on, not that one. So I entered, and literally, oh yeah, you can see better there. So pushed out, and then here I think I entered and it pushed up, but I had no TP, so it, you know, it tickled my TP, and I didn't close it because I had massive confidence in my analysis, as I'd been right on Monday and Tuesday with everything else pretty much, but just getting wicked out every single time. I was like, you know what, believe in yourself, you know, you've done nothing wrong so far, it's just been unfortunate in places, let it run. So I let it run, it pulled all the way back down and then pushed all the way back up, and here, right, is where I closed it, which if I'd have closed it above this green line, that would have put me over £10,000. But just as this candle formed, right, and it started to come down, I think it was about here somewhere, I actually closed it as it was here, which put me, didn't quite make the 10,000, but just under the 10,000. So I didn't make the £5,000 on this trade. I made £4,651.83. And the reason I closed it is because we had this huge push up into the zone, right? I thought we're going to get a huge rejection now, and as it started to push down, right, it kind of had that huge rejection. So we had a massive push up into the zone, massive push down. So I closed it just to be safe, just in case. Come on, that was the last thing I wanted, was for it to, like, for example, come on all the way down here and hit my stop loss. So I closed it just below, and then a couple of hours later, if I'd have trusted my gut, which I said, which is why I didn't have a TP, it would have absolutely rinsed up. But we are not complaining. Every single trade has literally been bang on with my analysis. So we had, going from AD CAD, obviously every single one looked bang on. I had my zones come down, retested. I got my zone here. Let's see if it retests. Literally every single one you want to look at has been bang on. I did potentially look at a sell today, but I didn't want to trade today. I thought, you know what, I've had 3 days of chaos. Let's just have a rest and we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Possibility would have maybe hit TP depending on where my stop loss was. But yeah, just every single one has literally gone in the direction I've said, but just in places just been so unfortunate. So, you know, this is why I have done this video, just to say, you know, if there's any beginner traders out there, if anybody wants to, you know, potentially learn from this, have a look at any setups I've done, you know, nice and simple, just break and retests for the day trades. And then for Bitcoin, it's a little bit of mix of using the zones, the day trading, but then just trying to hit them quick scalps into those zones. So that is how I managed, let me just flick it back so you can see it. I managed to flip £100. So you can see there's my deposit, £100 in the last week. And it goes all the way back up to, where's the date, look, the 6th, which was Monday. And it is now, I know it is Thursday, but it was yesterday. Look, you can see the date is the 10th, which was yesterday right there, which was my last trade, which was here, which is where I closed it. The 10th, look, and that is where I closed it. but I haven't tried today. It's just that I've been busy today, so I'm making a video today for everybody to see. So it's took me 3 days. 3 days. How crazy is that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get from £100 to just under £10,000 in 3 days as a beginner trader. So, you know, very, very happy with that. I just wanted to upload this video really just to show people, you know, how not simple, because it's not really simple. It has took a very long time to master it as such. It took me a year and a half to be able to flip accounts like this, £100 to 10 grand in 3 days. So yeah, very, very happy. We will see where we can go. But yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, I would massively appreciate it. This is the first video I've done where I've shown you know, my actual sort of live account, or one of my live accounts, and trading. You know, I am planning in the future to upload more flips again, possibly from £100 to the same again, if not more. We shall see. But again, thanks for sticking around. Hugely appreciate it for that subscription that I know you're going to click right now, and that thumbs up. Peace out.